Amidst the lush landscapes of northeastern Louisiana lies one of North America's most extraordinary archaeological sites, Poverty Point. This ancient, expansive complex is a marvel of prehistoric engineering and organization, and it was built over 3,000 years ago by a sophisticated society whose reach extended far beyond its boundaries. Poverty Point isn't merely a set of ancient mounds, it is indeed a gateway to understanding a culture that flourished long before the invention of written language as we know it on the continent. Recognized today as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it has gained global importance for its insights into the lives, innovations, and aspirations of its builders. Archaeological discoveries show us that the people of Poverty Point lived during a time known as the Late Archaic period, roughly between 1700 and 1100 BC. While other ancient cultures were adopting agriculture as a basis for settlement, the inhabitants here achieved impressive feats without relying on farming that we know of. Instead, they formed an interconnected society fueled by skilled craftsmanship, very extensive trade networks, and shared social bonds that held their community together. The site's enormous earthen structures and geometric layout demonstrate an advanced level of planning and construction, requiring thousands of hours of collective labor. Poverty Point's builders, although relying largely on hunting, fishing, gathering, and trading, managed to establish one of the most complex settlements in ancient North America. What makes Poverty Point even more astounding is the mystery surrounding its development. How did a society without domesticated animals, metal tools, or writing systems build such an elaborate site? How did they sustain a population large enough to undertake massive construction projects while also maintaining complex trade relationships that extended for hundreds, possibly thousands of miles? The site is dotted with materials and artifacts brought from distant lands, indicating that the Poverty Point culture was part of an ancient trade network reaching across the continent. It is believed that materials like copper from the Great Lakes, Ganella from the Ozarks, and soapstone from the Appalachian Mountains all arrived through trade, making Poverty Point a major trade hub of economic and cultural exchange in prehistoric North America, and possibly South America too. Over the years, archaeologists have uncovered thousands of artifacts from tools and ornaments to elaborate cooking objects, all of which tell a story of innovation and adaptability. These artifacts reveal a society with a deep knowledge of its environment, able to thrive in the diverse landscapes of the lower Mississippi Valley. Yet as remarkable as the discoveries are, Poverty Point still holds many secrets. Scholars are continually piecing together clues to understand the site's original purpose, the exact nature of it, and the impact that it had on people's daily lives. And is also the question of why did such an advanced community eventually disappear? In many ways, Poverty Point forces us to reimagine what we thought we knew about the early peoples of North America. This site represents a period long before the development of cities, yet the scale, complexity, and influence of Poverty Point rival some of the earliest civilizations on the planet. As we explore the stories, the earthworks, and the enduring mysteries of this ancient community, we are not only delving into the past, but we are also delving into the shared human drive to connect, create, and leave a lasting mark on the world. The story of Poverty Point's discovery is as fascinating as the site itself, revealing how an ancient civilization hidden beneath the forests of Louisiana went unnoticed for centuries. While local communities had always been aware of the mounds that dotted the landscape, few realized the magnitude of what lay before them. It wasn't until the mid-1800s that amateur archaeologists and explorers began to take note of the site's unusual features. Early observations identified earthen ridges and mounds that defied natural formation, suggesting human construction, yet there was little understanding of the significance or scale of what was really buried underneath. It wasn't until the early 20th century as archaeology as a form of discipline began to actually develop. Poverty Point caught the attention of scholars, and they soon realized that the site's layout was really unlike anything else seen in North America. Investigations revealed not only the presence of large structured mounds, but also a series of intricate concentric ridges that appeared to form a massive organized settlement. Archaeologists were initially puzzled. Why would a prehistoric people, believed to be hunter-gatherers, create such monumental earthworks without the advantages of agriculture or advanced tools? Excavations conducted in the 1950s by Dr. James Ford and other archaeologists formed institutions like the Smithsonian Institution and Louisiana State University began to peel back the layers of the mystery surrounding Poverty Point. They discovered that this was not merely a local settlement, but a significant prehistoric complex with widespread influence. Ford's work at Poverty Point revealed that the sheer scale of the earthworks, particularly at Mound A, the largest of the mounds, stood at an astonishing 72 feet tall, and it covered nearly 700,000 cubic feet of soil. Even more surprising was the discovery that this enormous mound had been constructed in one concentrated building effort, requiring an immense amount of labor and organization. By the 1960s, further studies had identified the age of the site as dating back over 3 millennia. Radiocarbon dating techniques placed Poverty Point's origins around 1700 BC, a time when most prehistoric communities in North America were small and relatively isolated. Yet here was a massive settlement showing signs of extensive planning, centralized organization, and social complexity that challenged previously held notions about early societies in the Americas. Artifacts found during these excavations began to shed light on a sophisticated culture, and the site's significance was finally being recognized. Poverty Point was emerging as a key piece in understanding the prehistory of North America. In 1988, Poverty Point was designated a National Historic Landmark, securing its place as a site of national and international importance. Since then, it has continued to attract scholars, students, and curious visitors alike, each seeking to understand the ancient people who created this remarkable place. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2014, Poverty Point today is celebrated not only as a monument of human achievement, but also as a symbol of the mysteries still hidden within North America's prehistoric past. Its discovery was a watershed monument, forcing us to reconsider what early societies in this region were capable of, and inspiring a whole new generation of research and exploration. Poverty Point's layout is a marvel of prehistoric engineering, revealing an elaborate design that demonstrates both advanced planning and communal organization. Spanning more than 900 acres, the site includes a series of massive earthen ridges arranged in 6 semi-elliptical concentric rings, which appear almost like the outline of a colossal amphitheater. These ridges are not mere piles of earth. They were likely used as living platforms where people built homes, worked, and perhaps held ceremonies. The ridges are spaced at regular intervals, creating walkways and corridors that could have channeled movement and activity throughout the settlement. Each ridge rises several feet high and stretches across an area that, at its widest, spans almost 3/4 of a mile, an astonishing feat for a prehistoric society, especially one that didn't rely on farming as we know it. At the heart of the site is an expansive flat plaza, which many believed served as the focal point for social and ceremonial gatherings. This plaza measures approximately 37 acres, one of the largest constructed in ancient North America. Here, inhabitants likely held community events, trade exchanges, and religious ceremonies, creating a dynamic center of life and interaction. The plaza's immense size and placement suggests that it held special significance, reflecting the values and beliefs of those who created it. Adding to the complexity of Poverty Point is, of course, the mounds, the most prominent of which is Mound A, also called the Bird Mound, because of its unique shape when viewed from above. This massive mound, of course, stands over 70 feet tall, rising with steep intentional slopes, and was likely completed in a matter of months, a feat requiring the movement of an estimated 390,000 tons of soil. This shaped somewhat like a bird in flight, or in winged form, basically. Mound A may have held spiritual significance, possibly symbolizing a connection to the heavens or serving as a gathering place for ceremonies. Surrounding Mound A and the plaza are smaller mounds, each with its own unique shape and purpose. These included Mound B, a conical structure, and Mound C, which is more modest in size, but was once an important feature in the site's landscape. Together, the ridges, mounds, and plaza form a layout that reflects a deep understanding of spatial organization and intentional design. The specific alignments and orientations of these structures may even have astronomical significance, potentially aligning with the movements of the sun or other celestial bodies. Those scholars continue to debate these interpretations. Researchers believe the effort required to construct these features points to a highly coordinated society, one that was capable of organizing and mobilizing large numbers of people over long periods of time. Without advanced tools, the people of Poverty Point moved earth by hand, using woven baskets and perhaps wooden spades to dig, transport, and shape the soil. The sheer volume of earth and the precise arrangement of the structures show that this society had leaders, or planners, with the vision and authority to guide such projects. While the full purpose of the layout remains unclear, what is certain is that Poverty Point's design reflects a complex social structure. The site's layout suggests a division of spaces that likely served different community functions, with areas possibly designated for housing, rituals, trade, and gatherings. Its geometric arrangement is unparalleled among prehistoric sites in North America, suggesting that the people of Poverty Point viewed their world in terms of both practicality and symbolism, carefully crafting an environment that fostered both daily life and spiritual observance. The arrangement of Poverty Point is not just a collection of earthworks, it is an integrated landscape where every mound, ridge, and plaza seems to serve a role in the life of the community. It stands as a testament to a people who transformed their environment on a grand scale, shaping the landscape to reflect their identity, values, and relationship with the world around them. Today, this extraordinary layout continues to captivate archaeologists and visitors alike, offering a rare glimpse into a structured, connected society that left an indelible mark on the ancient American landscape. Life at Poverty Point was rich, complex, and in many ways unexpectedly advanced for a society that thrived over 3,000 years ago. Far from a simple gathering of hunter and gatherers, Poverty Point was a dynamic center of culture and innovation, where people developed unique ways to thrive within their environment. Unlike other contemporary societies that relied heavily on farming, the people of Poverty Point managed to build a complex civilization through hunting, fishing, and foraging. They had an intricate knowledge of the resources around them, tapping into the abundance of the Mississippi Valley and its surrounding forest, rivers, and wetlands. Fishing, for instance, played a critical role in their diet, with the nearby rivers teeming with fish that provided essential protein. Archaeological evidence shows that they used nets, hooks, and even traps to catch fish. The community also relied on hunting local game, from small animals like squirrels and rabbits to larger game like deer. Gathering wild fruits, nuts, and plants also supplemented their food sources, providing a diverse diet that sustained the community and contributed to its growth. By maximizing the natural resources available to them, the people of Poverty Point avoided the agricultural practices that were common in other ancient societies, allowing them a level of mobility and resilience. The Poverty Point culture was also highly skilled in crafting tools and other items from the materials that they collected or traded for. Though they lacked metalworking technology, they made exceptional use of stone, bone, clay, and other natural materials. Poverty Point artisans were skilled in crafting tools, jewelry, and everyday objects, often using materials sourced from far-off regions. From finely shaped spear points and knives to decorative beads and pendants, the artifacts left behind showcase both practicality and artistry. One of the most distinctive objects found at Poverty Point is the Poverty Point object, or PPO for short. It was a clay cooking ball molded into various shapes. These objects, likely used to control cooking temperatures, represent an innovative solution for food preparation and hint at a community where the culinary arts were valued and refined. Perhaps most remarkable is the extent of Poverty Point's trade network, which stretched across North America. Although they lived in Louisiana, the people of Poverty Point had access to materials from as far away as the Great Lakes, the Appalachian Mountains, and the Ozarks. This extensive trade network, of which we've talked about on this channel before, brought items like copper, galena, soapstone, and flint, each of which was used to craft tools, ornaments, or other ceremonial objects. The exchange of goods over such vast distances is evident of Poverty Point's connections to other societies, suggesting that they were both respected and influential within a broader cultural network. Through trade, the people of Poverty Point were able to access materials that were otherwise unavailable locally, enriching their lives and contributing to the development of their society. Socially, Poverty Point's inhabitants likely lived in family groups or larger kinship-based communities. The earthen ridges on which they built their homes suggest a structured, organized way of life with clear boundaries for living spaces and communal areas. While much about their social structure remains speculative, the effort required to construct the massive earthworks indicates a collective dedication and possibly even a social hierarchy. There may have been leaders, planners, or spiritual guides who coordinated the construction of the mounds and oversaw communal activities. The ceremonial center and plaza would have served as places for gatherings, rituals, and celebrations, underscoring a shared cultural identity that bound the community together. While their worldview and beliefs are shrouded in mystery, the layout of Poverty Point and the artifacts discovered suggest a society deeply connected to the spiritual world and possibly cosmologically to our natural reality. In their daily lives, the people of Poverty Point exhibited resilience, adaptability, and a strong communal spirit, and their existence was not merely about survival, it was about thriving in the harmony with the land and fostering connections with distant cultures.